question was like something like, is there going to be a man there to say I did wrong? Then I put down, is there going to be a man that's going to say, or that witnessed me download and view said images?
But that's what I'm saying. So would your letter basically just said was, is there going to be a man in court that's saying I've done something wrong?
Yeah.
And who sent the answer back to you?
There was no answer. They just sent a postponement. There was no answer at all. They sent a postponement yesterday.
But I thought they sent the grand jury indictment to you.
Yeah, it was.
Well, then what did they send to you?
There's a notice of hearing trial, and it says arraignment, initial appearance, and it says witness the Honorable Judge of 5th Judicial Circuit of Maryland, and it says clerk of the circuit court, and then down here it says date issued, and it says the attorney of the state, Tasha Kriegs, state's attorney office.
Okay.
But they changed the courts, and they changed the state's attorneys.
I thought you said they sent you a grand jury indictment.
Yeah, they sent that today. Everything was today. They sent me a new summons to a different courthouse and with the indictment.
Okay, so they sent you a reschedule for another hearing, another trial date.
Yeah.
And then they sent you the grand jury indictment?
Yeah, with it, yeah.
Yeah, and then they sent you a date for an arraignment?
Yeah, there's a notice of hearing and trial, and they have down here the time and date of the court, and so under that it says arraignment / initial appearance. So that's why it's weird.
Yeah, that they're trying to bring you in a whole different court?
Yeah.
So
yeah, before it was in district court, now it's in the circuit court.
Yeah, so now it's up in the circuit court.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's funny is they want to arraign you up in the circuit court, right?
Yeah.
And did you just say to them a very simple question like, are these a new set of charges? I said, say what happened to the old charges? Because weren't you arraigned a while back? Weren't you arraigned like when they give you bail and bond?
Well, they just gave me a bond. They arrested me for it, for an arrest warrant, and I guess a certain procedure. They took me out of the computer, and then they had on a bond for $25,000, and then.
What I'm saying is, didn't they arraign you? Didn't they ask you how you enter a plea, guilty, not guilty? Didn't they do that?
No, they just sent me a trial date.
So way back when this first started, nobody's ever asked you how do you plead?
No.
That's incredible.
Yeah, so it's weird.
Oh, that's great. So this is arraignment. This is the first day. So that's wonderful. So then now you can bring up that old, I'm guilty of any legal infraction because I'm not a member of the legal society. But the only problem is, is there a man that's going to say I've done something wrong?
Right.
The legal society says I've done something illegal. I totally agree. The only problem is I don't live in a legal land. The only problem is I live in a common land where a man has to come forth and tell me I've done something wrong. I'm not a member of the legal society. So see, that's the answer you can send to them. That's a pretty simple answer. I've done tons of it. Like I said, when I went to court, I said, I'm sure I've done 8,600 illegal activities on the way to courthouse today, and I can guarantee it at a minimum. And I'm probably going to do 11,812 before I make it back home this afternoon. Well, that's absolutely nothing to do with me. So I can't get this.
So he's writing out a letter, saying thanks for the lovely indictment letter, and you still haven't answered my question. Is that what you want me to do?
No, like I said, if this is just going to be an arraignment, that's easy. Because an arraignment is basically the same question you're asking right there. Who gives a damn?
So you mean send a letter to this prosecutor, or are you going to wait till it goes there?
It's sent to the court. Whoever's moved to the court, Maryland, state of Maryland, it's state of Maryland's court.
Right.
It's some guy named State of Maryland. Second dimension fictional entity called the State of Maryland. It's being represented by, a fictional entity that, but at all times is a man. So it should be interesting. Should be real simple. But yeah, no. So if you're just being arraigned, this is great. Makes life simple. I'm glad, I'm very happy that, I've done all kinds of illegal activities. The problem is you're dealing with a man, so, there's no law that requires a man to understand any kind of legal code.
Right.
So you're just basically telling that off. You had a company anyway, didn't you? You guys are incorporated.
Well, that was for something. Well, yeah. The first time they came and took my stuff for the company, but this one was they said they found pictures on my computer.
Yeah. Well, like I said, the only thing you have to do is if it says the pictures on the computer, then you just send them a letter, say, there's elements of this that the court might not be aware of. That one, they have to have a third-party impartial witness that testify in court that you viewed the pictures, and you're going to have to produce a man or a woman, a third-party impartial witness that said that they actually witnessed you downloading them. Because like I said, when I worked for Sony Dell Computers, every single guy who called up who was between the ages of, I don't know, like 17, 18, and 35, 40, the only reason why calling up was because they wanted to get internet to download porno. They weren't sending pictures to grandma. They weren't sending, birthday cards or e-cards, email cards to, to their cousins. 99% of those guys wanted to. So you better believe when they called me up and they say to me, I said, look, I'm a guy, you're a guy. Bottom line, simple question. You want to know how to download porn and not get arrested, right? And they're like, yeah, that kind of called up asking for that kind of advice. I said, okay, not a problem. Here's how the law works. First, if you find pictures on your computer, when you bring it to a computer store to get it fixed, honestly, it could come through in all kinds of malware. And honestly, it could come through. And, because it's a $1 trillion industry right now. Back in the 90s, computer porn was huge. It was like the biggest industry in the United States. It was ridiculous how big it was. I don't know if it's that big anymore, but it was in the top 3, money-making companies, money-making ventures in the United States at that time. So I said to them, I said, look, I know you're worried. I said, the big thing is they need a third-party impartial witness to verify, which means they have to swear in open court that they saw you downloaded, and then they have to swear that you viewed it and you did nothing about it. So that's the big thing. He just sent them a note and say, I think you're missing 2 critical elements to move your case against me. 1, you need a third-party impartial witness to testify in open court that I downloaded it, that they physically witnessed me downloading it, and 2, that they physically saw me viewing it. Just send that to them. Okay. Say, I believe you're missing 2 critical elements to move your case before this court.
Cool.
Let's see what they answer. They'll probably answer back with some ridiculous code.
Right.
Say, when you want to move against a man, this is what's required. Just like with the O.J. Simpson thing. When you want to get a man for murder, you better believe, under the code, especially like in Italy, like when that girl got convicted of murder in Italy with her boyfriend for killing their roommate. Right. I forget that bimbo's name. But anyway. Yeah, they're already found guilty just based upon the code. The code says she's guilty. Now she's got to fight her way out of the box. And her mom and dad, when they came back from Italy, said that. They were whining. They're like, man, Italy's backwards from the United States. All code countries are backwards. The code says that you did it. Now show that you didn't. It's reverse compared to what we do. In our country, we don't give a damn what the code says. You got to prove that I've done it, that I've done something. You got to prove that there's a victim here. You got to prove that somebody's been harmed. You got to prove there's financial loss. You got to prove that. I don't got to prove that I didn't do it. You got to prove that I did do it. Yeah. So just send them a simple letter like that. You got to prove that I did it. You got to prove that I downloaded it, and you got to prove that I viewed it, and then you got to prove that by my downloading and viewing it. Another element that you got to prove is somebody's accrued a financial loss, like I didn't pay for the free porn, or somebody's going to have to prove that they've been harmed or injured by it. And if they want to say, well, society's been injured, well, good. Bring one man or woman from society that says that because what Jason did, I've been harmed. I've been injured. Harmed. One man, any man, because the United States Supreme Court said that in Gore versus Bush. So just bring one man, any man from Florida that said that their vote wasn't counted. Just bring one. That'll be all good. Just bring one. When Al Gore said he didn't bring one, the Supreme Court, that case lasted about 3 minutes. And said, you know what, there's not a damn thing we can do to help you. You can't move this case in our court. Why? Because you need a man. And you forgot to bring your man. So, goodbye. So if they did that with George Bush and Al Gore is a multi-gazillionaire because, I believe his dad owns Occidental Oil. I don't know if he still owns it or what, but they're worth billions. So what? If that guy couldn't move a case to a court, because of that element, I can't see how Baltimore can.